it's easy to say, I can't win,
Right.
right? Rather than the question that you just asked, how can I win? Because people are doing it. People are buying homes. People are winning. They're getting on the right side of the wealth spectrum. So the question is how. And Jordan and I have kind of worked on a very simple, basic 3-step framework.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to CrossPolitic on the Fight Laugh Feast Network. We just got done with Grace's Agenda this past week.
Oh, yeah.
Over 2,200 people signed up for it, and I'm exhausted.
How are you?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had we did some businessmaker stuff. We did a after show,
live show
in my house. That's going to be dropping with Jeff Durbin and Chad Jackson, not on abolition, and that'll be dropping next Monday.
Oh, next Monday.
Okay. And
next Monday. Why are we waiting a week for that?
We did an outdoor service at Christ Church. Yeah. Had like 2,000 chairs out or something like that. It got warm.
I heard.
Yeah. It got very warm.
They said it was warm.
Yep.
And
I tanned a little bit because I wore sunglasses to church because it's so bright.
Yeah.
And actually, I got some lines there on Sunday. That's for an hour and a half.
Thank you, Gabe.
There you go.
Thank you for sharing.
Did you guys
your tan line story?
Yeah.
Well, that was really helpful.
Our audience was super interested in that one comment. You can email me and ask more questions about that. Contact@fightlaughfeast.com.
Yes, ask all your tan line questions to Gabe. That's really helpful. You guys still happy you came on the show? Jordan Clemans, after having one of the fastest growing real estate businesses in the area, Jordan Clemans became the lead buyer specialist for Story Real Estate. Oh, really?
You buy things?
I help people buy things.
Wow.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Currently, he helps connect buyers and sellers while teaching other agents on the team to do the same. With a background in marketing and sales, Jordan has learned to effectively present products in an honest and attractive way that benefits both buyers and sellers. He holds a bachelor's degree in liberal arts and culture that he earned in Moscow. You didn't name the college?
New St. Andrews.
At New St. Andrews College.
Correction.
The only place in the world you can get a Bachelor of Liberal Arts and Culture. I don't know if there's another degree offered. I mean, is that offered anywhere else in the world?
It's only here.
Yeah. He's not ashamed. If you come to New St. Andrews, you too could also be one of the lead buying specialists at Story Real Estate one day, right?
Well, here's the thing about Jordan. And no one knows this. He doesn't get enough credit for it.
Okay.
That's why no one knows it. And he filmed the bathroom video, the New St. Andrews marketing bathroom video. I told Jordan, I was like, hey, man, there's a bathroom out there. Go get 2 college students and film it. No text, no script. Just have them walk in, and Jordan framed it out, and everything's fantastic. Yeah.
Jordan. Yeah. Man, that's a claim to fame. That should be in your bio.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get that edited.
I did the New St. Andrews bathroom video.
Film the New St. Andrews bathroom ad.
Yeah.
Seriously. He believes Moscow is one of the greatest places to live, loves the unique opportunity to share it with others by welcoming them into our community and to our men's and women's restrooms.
Respectively.
As they apply.
That's right. Chris Carpenter represents the region's finest properties with exceptional skill using the most innovative technologies currently available. So this, make sure you guys you get this right. So you got Jordan here and you got Chris here. Okay, there we go. Cameras. There we go. That's Chris over there. Okay. He offers ultimate privacy and security, speed and efficiency. His years of full-time experience have given him a clear understanding of the mindset of home buyers and sellers and a thorough understanding of the regional marketplace. Chris, Jordan,
Sir.
Thanks for coming back on CrossPolitic.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, and you brought us presents.
Yes, sir.
Is it Christmas?
I think we opened it. It looks that's very Christmas.
The bag looks like Christmas.
If Toby's not going to get it, I'm going to get it.
I was about to.
I figured you would.
So I got the best one
nice.
in there. Oh,
that's nice. I knew
bro.
Knox.
This is my thing.
This
is
yeah.
Wow.
Knox
That's so
loves
nice.
He's taking them
This
all.
is so good.
That's mine.
Dang it. Thank you. I have this is a problem for me. I love these. Oh yeah, this is like
I like y'all's hats.
He's
man.
speaking my love language right here.
We got a hat too. Yeah.
Here, I got this one.
Which one matches my tie?
I already picked this one.
Okay.
Oh wow.
This seems like you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Camo.
I think my last story hat. I think I actually wore it out.
Good.
I wore it a lot, and then
Nice.
I think it died.
Awesome.
So
My kid's still mine.
I was kind of ready for a new one.
We'll bring them back every year.
All right. Awesome. So I'd love to hear from you guys, just generally starting off, want to talk about the real estate market. And one of the things that's really fun talking with you guys about is the fact that you're kind of keeping your eyes on big picture And I also know you're watching like kind of micro trends as well. So I don't know who wants to start off, but what's going
In an
on?
amazing Trump economy.
What's going on in the real estate market right now? I mean, I think a lot of us are hearing a lot about is how difficult it is.
Yeah.
How hard it is. How hard it is, particularly for young people to break into the market.
I got some charts and graphs for you guys on that.
Kind of a,
It's your fault.
Anyways, so what would you highlight in terms of big picture? What's going on in the real estate market right now?
Yeah, big picture, affordability is at an all-time low, right? Interest rates are high. They were low in COVID. They're high now, higher than what they were, but not historically high.
Right.
But our dollar goes less far. So
where are we at as far as interest rate right now?
6.5%.
Yeah. Okay.
The median home price nationwide is around 400,000. So
that's median.
Okay. We're seeing homes continue to appreciate
400,000 nationwide.
Nationwide.
Okay.
So homes are still appreciating in value. Interest rates are still high, and it is it's affordable. It's hard to break into. Like you said, I was looking at some stats in 1950s. Average person was getting into a home 22, 23 years old. 1975, it was something like 28, 29. These days, it's 38 getting into their first home.
We got that chart, don't we? Let's bring that chart up.
Yeah, we have.
Come on, guys, you got to listen.
For the just the 30-year-olds. This is a chart on just 30-year-olds.
This
right?
is a chart where he's saying entrance and median age of entrance of buying a house.
First home.
No,
we got that.
But this is
30.
Nope,
that's the wrong chart.
Oh, there's another chart.
That's the wrong chart.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well,
That's the Marriott Inn home.
Bring up the other chart.
Scary.
There we go.
Okay,
There we
median
go.
age of first-time U.S. home buyers.
Look at that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's amazing. 38.
Yeah, so you go back even further, people,
it's lower. This is 23 years
1950s,
old.
Lower.
yeah, people were getting into homes at 22 years old. Now it's 38.
And here's what's crazy. Now bring up the next chart. Here's what's crazy about 30-year-olds. So 30-year-olds who are both married and homeowners. Look at the 1950s. It was about 50% of 30-year-olds had bought a house, had been a homeowner. And now look at the 30-year-olds. It's like, what, 15% in 2025?
I'm curious, either one of you guys. I mean, so obviously, one of the things we all look at right now is you were just pointing out, interest rates are higher than they've been in recent history. However, historically, they're actually not that high.
Yeah.
Bring it up, DJ.
They're actually lower. Like my father-in-law bought his first house, and I think he told me that he had like a 10% mortgage rate in his first house, and he thought that was a great deal at the time.
I remember that.
And so,
So here it is on the screen right here.
okay,
So that's interest rates.
7% is the 80-year average.
yeah, but if you sort of like, so this doesn't go quite back far enough. But if you go,
1954 is where it starts.
yeah, but yeah, so but this doesn't go back to 1954.
Yeah, that's where it starts. Yeah,
1975.
yeah, roughly 1954.
I don't know what that means, but in the last chart, when it starts back in the 50s, where you have that high buy-in percentage, and then it starts dropping. There it is, like a ski slope. It's interesting that roughly maps onto interest rates dropping.
Yep.
So as interest rates are dropping,
30-year-olds are more and more unable to enter in and buy a house or be homeowners.
And then I know it's gone up and down over the last few years. The volatility is like a perfect storm.
Totally.
But talk to us about this.
Yeah, I mean, if they scroll over to the last chart that they showed, the interest rate numbers, it's interesting because interest rates are one factor, income's another, and home prices. So if you even just look at 50 years ago, 1975, the median home price was about 6 times more than the median income. In 2020, it was about, it was 4 times at that time.
Okay.
2000, it was 6 times, and these days it's like 7 or 8 times. So our dollar is going less far.
It's not going as far.
Regardless of interest rate.
Right.
Yep.
Interesting. So that's another piece of that.
We asked, because we brought this chart up on another show recently, and to me, our conclusion was that as the government drops interest rates, the higher home prices go. But it's actually what really is happening is the higher your monthly payment goes, which starts to box out the younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually better for the younger generation to have higher interest rates. You go back to
if they're stable. But that's part of the problem is like it hasn't been stable.
We'll go back to the interest rates.
Yeah, but
look what happened when they first started playing this game. Right. Look how low they entered the interest rates in, about 7%. And then after 20 years, they're like, holy cow, this is bad.
Right.
They shot it up to 15, 20% because they saw how bad it was for the economy. And then I guess this new economy starts to form around interest rates. Or what I can't quite explain. But whatever happened, they shot it up, and now look, it's dropping. Well, and of course, in 2008, we've seen this housing crisis, and it's almost like the housing crisis are starting to happen faster, and then farther apart.
Can I ask you guys a question in this? Unless you had a question.
No, I just.
You get it all out?
Yeah.
So then, when you have interest rates that are 15, 20%, so you got more people, I guess, who are able to buy a house, but it does have a high cap, though, for like lower income people. It's still hard for them to get in. Mm-hmm. So then it still doesn't amount to the amount of houses that can be sold, right? It levels the market in one sense. Yeah. Because it still keeps people out.
Yeah.
Right? Am I thinking about that correctly?
Yeah, I would say it definitely can keep people out because the main thing that interest rates impact is the monthly payment.
Right.
One thing that Jordan and I were talking about before the show is really people's expectations also have changed over the last 50 years when it comes to an entry-level, first-rate home. Jordan, you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So in 1950, if we back up, the average buyer was looking for a home that was 900 or 1,000 square feet.
In a porta potty or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Outhouse.
3-bed, 1 bath. That was like the simple. And just anecdotally, the people I talked to, they're looking for 3 or 4 bath or 3 or 4 bed minimum.
With a garage.
And 2-car garage for all their stuff.
At least 2 bathrooms.
2 bathrooms.
Right.
That's the most common thing.
Right.
And then they say, well, that's about 2,000 square feet. So if that costs $400,000, I'm out of the market. I can't do it.
So my father-in-law, you guys know Matt Gray, he bought that house, I think in 1985 or something, for $50,000.
Awesome.
Yeah. And on a college minister's salary, not even a college, it wasn't even a church salary. It was a Campus Crusade salary.
Right.
Bought it for $50,000. It barely had 2 bathrooms in it. He had 7 daughters. So barely had 2 bathrooms in it. I think it was like a bathroom and a half or something.
Your father-in-law is a very sanctified man.
Incredible. But the point is, like, he probably, maybe his interest rates might have been like 13% or something.
Sure, I mean, mid-80s.
Mid-80s, whatever that was. Yeah, around that, 10, 13%. But he was able to do it on a college salary here in Moscow for $50,000. And I guess that kind of goes back, that kind of corroborates, like, the interest rates and what you're able to afford.
Well, the point we were mapping is the cheaper money is to borrow, that means there's heavy supply of money, and when you have a supply, then the prices go up. The prices,
that's right. That's right. Supply of money. That's the right word right there.
That's what you have, and so because prices go up, which is why we're always kind of like the government's giving you money or whatever. It's like, okay, that might be nice for next month. But like what that does to our economy is it absolutely makes the prices go up. That's just how it's you can't push water down on one side of the bathtub and it not have it affects the other side.
I found that out this afternoon. My house had a plumbing problem.
Yes, you did.
I'm still dealing with it in my mind.
Still a little bitter about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so you were in the middle of telling us what's going on in the real estate market, and we went on a rabbit trail. And
then Jordan started talking about what they want, what the entrance housing wants now.
Expectations.
Changing expectations. Yeah. And really, so with interest rate manipulation, people treat housing as if it's like the stock market or something. Like just the amount of change that we see, they recognize, I need the rates to go down 0.5%, and I can afford $50,000 more of a house.
Wow.
Just instantly. And so then they try to time the market, but then they end up waiting and waiting and waiting. And then as soon as that change happens, all the prices go up. So it's created this different mindset around, especially first-time home buyers getting into the market. It's just a mess.
So this makes me think of 2 things. There's kind of the what is and what ought, right? We're kind of in the middle of this, like this crazy Federal Reserve controls the money supply, interest rates, by controlling interest rates. Trump, I think, just signed an executive order or something saying or put out a tweet and whatever. They're almost the same to him. But he was talking about making Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac go private. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
Yeah. It was just.
Let's go.
I sent it to Bonson. There's an article I sent to David Bonson. He's like, "Yeah, this is a long time coming. This should have happened a long time ago."
Yeah.
So whatever. And I forgot what my question was, but it was gonna be fantastic. It was
Good lead up. Yeah.
what was I saying before?
Why would that be a good idea? Well, I mean, I'm just curious, like,
what is versus what ought? So what is we got this crazy Federal Reserve. What should it ought to be? Like if you could snap your fingers and say, "Hey, this is how money supply should work in our country as it relates to housing, and here's how the housing market should actually work." What would you like to see?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big macro question.
Yeah.
But in a way,
a big macro show.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I got macro questions or macro answers, micro answers.
Okay.
I mean, in a way, particularly when it comes to real estate, but also in general, we're all peasants on the powers that be's plantation. In ways, you own your house. Yeah.
You stuck, man. You're stuck.
That wasn't directed at anyone in particular.
I thought it was directed at all of us.
Yeah, it is.
But you own your house, but
Yes.
you also pay Uncle Sam
Yes.
to own it,
Yes.
right? You make money, but you
Yes.
also pay Uncle Sam to make that money,
Yeah.
right? You have money, maybe in a bank account, maybe under your mattress, and that money, the longer you hold it, is worth less and less and less, right?
yeah.
There's no standard, there's no gold standard, it's not backed by anything. So there's got to be some big macro changes to change the volatility of everything going on.
Yeah.
Jordan and I aren't necessarily experts in taking down the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
That would be great. Or, taking down institutional buyers that are buying up a lot of single family homes.
BlackRock or something like that.
BlackRock, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
In other markets. But what we are good at is helping build, on the micro level, helping people build generational wealth. We talked about this. You know, the middle class is evaporating, right? There's this larger chasm between the rich and the poor. In our minds, the question is, one is, how do we solve that issue, right? How do we have a middle class or not have this massive chasm? But on a micro spectrum, the question is, how do I get on the right side of that spectrum?
Yeah.
And we think that there's no better way to build long-term generational wealth than through real estate. There's a lot of benefits to it. So,
But contrast that real quick with what Jordan just said a minute ago, like thinking about housing as sort of like playing the stock market.
Yeah.
And as I was thinking about contrasting that with, maybe 50 years ago or 75 years ago, when they were willing to buy this small house, whatever, like, I think there was a lot less volatility even in just like where people lived. Like, I mean, there was a lot more permanence, and there was a lot more like, I mean, they might just like be thinking like, I'm going to live here for the rest of my life.
Totally.
There's
So they're holding on to the supply.
Yeah,
of the housing supply, basically.
Yeah, but I guess I'm just saying like, but if you think about it like a stock market, then it's like, I'm going to buy low, sell high, this kind of thing. But I don't necessarily think that's what you mean by building generational wealth.
right. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, sometimes you move and sometimes you sell
Totally.
or whatever. But like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think Warren Buffett, I don't know if he said it first, but he said it multiple times, time in the market is better than timing the market. So getting in the game is important. I think Tucker's talked a lot about, where you're invested in, where you're rooted in, you're going to be a lot more invested in that town, that county, that nation, whatever it be. So extremely important. It was David Reese said that real estate's a great investment because you can borrow more money for less money, putting less down, for cheaper, for longer than anything else.
Yeah,
Stocks
30
or
years.
anything. Right, exactly.
Right.
Who gives a 30-year loan?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
But what Jordan's talking about, I think, is, you have to have a long-term perspective to it. It doesn't work well. Usually, there might be the 5-10% of people who can flip houses and it works. But when you're buying a home, whether it's a single family for you to live in or an investment for you to own, you got to be thinking 5, 10, 15, 30 years. I'm building wealth for my generations rather than I'm going to make this quick flip. I'm going to make 20 grand and move on to the next thing.
There you go.
That's one of the very first questions I ask people when they talk to me about wanting to buy a house. It's how long do you plan to be here? And so often it's 2 or 3 years. And I say, it's too risky. 0.5% adjustment
rent.
in interest rate.
Yeah.
Just
Is that-
rent.
is that what you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put your
Right.
money in other places because having a property will anchor you to a location.
So 5-year minimum.
Minimum. Yeah, don't even think about it. Unless you've got some secret sauce, like you're a handy guy, you want to flip it.
Or you find a house that needs to be massively fixed up.
And
or
you
whatever.
have the skills and the ability to do that.
For 90% of people, they're going to be better off buying a house that's out in the country that has almost 2 working baths. Eventually,
I'm in that same house. My house was a Sears catalog order in 1915. Like, dead serious. I found the receipt.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting that graph on, you guys just put it up on accident for a second, but the 30-year-olds who are married and own a house.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that line isn't just talking about the housing market being hard to get into. It's people being unwilling to be rooted to a location.
Oh.
People are just wanting to stay
That's interesting.
free, which actually ends up enslaving them.
You know, that's a really good point. And I'm actually also wondering if this chart is also telling us that people are not getting married.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, yeah, too. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, but I wonder. I mean,
But this is just saying, less married.
we
Less
don't know.
people can be married.
But like, if
That can affect the chart.
if there's less married people,
Creates
Yeah.
less stability. Yeah.
I mean, that's also
That's how you get down that 15% pretty quick.
And that is not a function of interest rates.
No.
Right.
You know, like
Immorality.
No, yeah, that's a function of failed morality and a failed rootedness, a failed culture. Like that's what that is.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's a really good point.
It is,
so
no.
so that because that rootedness and a love of place goes hand in hand with a love of people. I mean, those two things they go together. I mean, you love a place, it's beautiful, but you love it because of the people that live there. And you really love it when you have generations there. You have a wife, you have kids, you have grandkids, you have aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews, and the guy that was in your wedding, and the guy that you work side by side with, and the guy that you went to war with, and whatever. Like all these shared experiences is part of a commitment to a place.
Yeah. And I get, sometimes people have to move for a job, whatever.
Yeah.
Or to go take care of mom and dad at home or something like that.
And we believe in missions.
But,
people got to go sometimes and we got to go spread the gospel.
But man, that's something that's I think been so lost in our churches and in our neighborhoods.
Right.
Is we're here for life.
Yeah.
I'm building this community. I'm investing myself in this neighborhood, in this community, in the south side of Dallas, whatever.
Right.
And here in Moscow, I've seen that it's changed me. It's changed me the way I thought.
So
if a house came up on the market that I could buy that might be a little over the market, I wouldn't care in one sense.
Right.
Because I want to buy that house and I'm going to be here the next 30 years.
Yeah.
It has, extra acres for a horse or something, whatever.
Right.
I'm doing it because I'm here for the next 30 years. I don't care about the.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So you mentioned middle class disappearing. We're in this tight spot. I mean, and again, we're tasting the fruit of a failed culture.
Yep.
How does the young man, the little guy, the poor, the guy that's like, I'm just trying to pay my bills. How does he win in a world like this?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think, Chocolate, you in your 20
years, 20 things you didn't do 20
years ago. Yeah, it was it was super good. And
thank you.
Some of those things were just turning around in my head. But so the middle class is disappearing. Time in the market is better than timing the market. We have to readjust our expectations. But I think there can be this kind of victim or woe is me mentality. Oh man, the Federal Reserve, the inflation, the things going on, home prices, interest rates, all the things. It's easy to say I can't win, right? Rather than the question that you just asked, how can I win? Because people are doing it. People are buying homes. People are winning. They're getting on the right side of the wealth spectrum. So the question is how. And Jordan and I have kind of worked on a very simple, basic 3-step framework.
Oh, snap.
Let's go.
I love
We like 3 steps.
Hold on. Let me get my pen.
And I mean, part of this was...
Is there an acronym?
Yeah, there's not. I should have.
You can come up with
Should have.
Chris Jordan framework.
Yeah, the Chris Jordan framework.
Number one. Yeah. I'm in.
But some of this I'm stealing from you, Chuck Knox. But for step one, provide as insane value to your employer. Whether you're running your own company or you're working for someone else, provide as much value as you possibly can so that you can increase your income as much as you possibly can. Step two, the Dave Ramsey. I like Dave for some circumstances. He's my defense. I got another guy for my offense, but his line, you got to live like no one else so that later you can live and give like no one else.
Right.
So you got to adjust your expectations. And I would recommend you tie 10%, you save 10% into a specific investment fund, real estate down payment fund, and then you live off the rest, whatever that is. So you got to provide insane value, live like no one else, and then buy property every 3 years. If you're making the median income and there's the median home price in your area, you save up in this specific fund for 3 years, you can buy a house. And then when you move on to the next house in 3 years, you keep that one and you rent it out. After 20 years, you'll own 7 properties. They'll be cash flowing, appreciating in value. You'll have a net worth of $2.5 million, but you're getting into the market when you can with what you can, and then it grows from there.
My goodness, man.
10%.
So doing the math, you're saying saving 10% of your income over 3 years ought to put you in a position to be able to put a down payment on a house, and then are you in a position, you're assuming that person can then make the payment on that house, or you're just swapping from, like, you're assuming rental, and now that rental becomes mortgage payment.
You got it.
Or if you already own a house, I guess you're assuming that becomes a rental.
Right.
And then the rental covers the mortgage payment.
You got it.
Okay, got it. So you just needed to get that down payment to get in.
That initial down payment, you lock in that fixed rate. We all know that rent rates continue to go up, so you're just going to win long term. Right.
So why 3 years?
3 years with median income, median home price. That's how long it takes to save 5% down payment.
Okay. All right.
And is that really like a pretty, like, 5% is a pretty reasonable?
It's a great way to get into the market. Yeah, with a owner-occupied conventional loan, 5% is easy. You can obviously turbocharge the strategy if you're willing to house hack, get into an investment property, a duplex, triplex, fourplex, whatever it is. But it works great with single families, and you get to live in it.
Yeah,
right.
Okay,
that's it. Okay.
So the middle class has declined 10% in the last 50 years. You guys can throw some of those charts up. They're great. I get to see them. They're great charts.
You keep talking to him like that, I don't think you're gonna get much.
But what's interesting is the lower income class has increased slightly, or at least flat. It looks like slight increase maybe on this, and the upper income class has increased over the last since 1971, 1920 to 2023 is what I'm looking at.
Okay.
So middle class is the only
it's going down.
Only class that's gone down. Yeah.
Interesting.
So here.
So wait. So was that all three? That was all three.
Three.
That was.
Yeah.
Oh wow! It was really fast.
Yeah,
Actually,
Okay. So number one,
provide insane value.
provide insane value.
act like a human, doggone it.
Yeah.
So, but that's
Like a Christian.
Yeah. That's work really hard. Work honestly. And part of what you're assuming there is that, God blesses hard work.
Absolutely.
And whether that's promotions, raises, or just simply a wonderful reputation, everybody knows that you deliver and you do good work. You're dependent upon. That's always worth doing.
Yeah.
Secondly, live like no one else, meaning really, like, trim the fat.
Yeah.
Like, we back to expectations, maybe. Like, you're talking earlier, like, we kind of have some fat and sassy expectations. We have to have all these bedrooms, and we have to have all these bathrooms, and we have to have all this space and all the rest of them. Is like, well, but what if you can break into the market? And is it tight? Is it,
get a Sears catalog house.
Yeah. I mean,
I just got to speak to that for a moment.
Third. I want a third.
And then third is you're saying, you're
10, 20,
is that
80?
the 10, 10, 80? Is that that one? Or is
That's
that the
to live
second
like no one else. So
Okay.
you're saving
And
where
then-
your friends might be spending.
Yeah.
Right.
But the third one would be buy a house every 3 years.
Yeah.
Or some kind of property every 3 years that you can use to then begin building additional revenue sources, income sources.
And with that one kind of plays on the second too, where you're moving every 3 years. Some people don't like to move. It's not convenient to move, right? But you're willing to live like no one else to be able to build that wealth early because
But
it
you're still
compounds
in your
over
own
time.
city.
You're still
Like,
in your
you're
own
not-
city.
you're
You're
not
not
moving.
you're not jumping around the country. You're
Yeah.
just packing up the moving
Are
truck
you-
and
You're making the neighborhood better every house you move to.
absolutely.
But you could also, you could buy one that is you like and you want to stay there, and you could keep doing this, but buy rental properties.
You could do that. It slows down a bit with rental properties, non-owner occupied, because usually you have to put 20 to 25% down. So your saving takes longer.
Okay.
But you could buy your kids a house.
Buy your kids a house. Yeah, you
see
can
what I'm
partner with
saying?
them. There's a lot of co-signing. I know Tucker was
Right.
talking about A-Way that younger generations are getting into houses is that their parents are helping them out. They're co-signing on it.
So is that true? Like, I'm sorry. Like, so if you buy a house, but you don't want to move into it yourself, but you put your kids in it.
Yep.
Like, even if they're like 7 years old, it's okay.
I don't know what but it's
no, but like my college kids, like I can put them in there.
Absolutely.
And that's considered owner occupied.
Yeah. One member on the loan needs to owner occupy the property.
Oh.
Scribble your name on the lease and let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, son. Come here, son. Come here, son.
I'm telling you.
I brought you into the world.
Yeah. I don't think, this is why it's a great opportunity for us to take over. I don't think we're thinking about this right. It's funny, we looked up here and all of a sudden we had people who were coming into our nation who are not citizens of our nation, and all of a sudden these people own 3 houses and we sitting up here without nothing. And this goes back to your point, because they got in here and they didn't care if the house had 7 bedrooms for everybody who lived in the house. Right. They didn't care if they only had 1 bathroom, right? Like they figured it out, and by the time 20 years went by, everybody in that house owned something. And we like, well, we got, we're such first world problems. Right. Oh no, we got to share a bathroom.
That big screen TV won't fit on that wall.
That's right.
And I think there's an aspect to this too. And I really appreciate what you're saying about number 1. I don't think number 1 can be overlooked at all. It's so important because inside of the way that God's made the world, you got to read George Gilder. He talks about this in Wealth and Poverty. There's surprise in the system. There's a surprise in the system when we work in it. I don't think we're at the place right now, and I could be wrong, but the way that I'm seeing it and looking at it, I love you guys' opinion on this, is that this isn't a way, you're not going to save yourself out of this one. You're going to have to work your way out of
our
this
current
one.
economy situation.
There's no way to save, because everything's going to keep rising in price. So whatever you're going to have to do, you're going to have to produce so much that it outdoes what's being eaten away. And then you're going to have to take that, and I actually titled it Tithe, Save, and then live, right? So tithe the 10%, tithe 10% for saving, and then live out the rest. And if you're really doing something dangerous, you put 1 more 10 behind for a rainy day or whatever. But like you're gonna have to work your way out of this. And what I'm expecting, the way I'm looking at it is, all right, Lord, I want to be as valuable as I can be to other people, and I'm gonna believe that there's a surprise somewhere in here that I don't know about. There's going to be something in here because this is the way you made the world. Yeah. This is the way that you've designed it. And so
there's gold at the bottom of that river in Genesis.
That's right.
I mean, that's the beginning of that. It's like, look, I put surprises in this world for you.
Yes.
And you got to go find it.
There's good things, but you do have to go find it. You have to work for it.
That's right.
And you got to figure out how to get there. You got to figure out how to get it. You got to figure out how to refine it. Like, I mean, like there's work to be done, but he's loaded the world with good things.
Yeah. I think in one sense, we've wanted to be able to take our money and bury it and hope that somehow that we've had enough, we keep burying enough money. It's like, I don't think we're living in that type of reality anymore. You're going to have to figure out.
I don't know if we ever were.
Yeah, I think we've had a comfortable, that's the reason why we're at right now.
Yeah, right,
I think we have done that.
Lived like that was possible, but it wasn't.
And now we're mad that we can't do that anymore.
Right.
Right. Now, granted, we do have some issues going on here. I don't think you can have an immoral nation and have a great economy.
Right.
God's world doesn't work that way. Right.
I wonder. I mean, I'm still stuck on that one chart where it was like, married.
Yes.
And that all of a sudden just hit me when you were talking about rootedness, and then I'm like, oh, you can't have a good housing economy if you don't have good households.
Yeah, that's right.
Rooted. I mean, like, this is how God made the world. Like, you can't like God made the world such that, I mean, houses and households go together. And so, you could run that chart. Like, I bet we could absolutely map on divorce rate.
Single motherhood.
Single motherhood, out of wedlock pregnancy. I mean, abortion rates. I mean, it's like all the rest of this is part of this picture.
You have people getting married older instead of younger.
Sure, right.
And so what happens is that guy, they don't get married when they're 23, so they go buy thear own houses. That takes up supply in the market, and you just kind of have all sorts of different competitors in that market.
Yeah. What are you guys? What are you seeing? I mean, along these lines. I mean, as far as I know you're working with all kinds of different people, and but as you give this advice,
who wants to stone you?
How's it going? And do you have some stories?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got stories.
Okay.
Story time.
Because this is story real estate.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'd say there's 2 responses people give to this. One is they never get past the woe is me Yeah, you're telling me this, but you're still referring to people 3 years ago, and that's not the same today. I have some unique scenario, something that's different, so I can't.
But I do.
Yeah. Right. So that's like one stop point. So then they won't even talk to me.
Right.
I'm like, hey, it's okay if you're buying in 5 or 10 years. Like, let's game plan. They're like, no, I don't even want to talk to you.
Okay.
Like, okay, that's fine. You're not going to buy a house. You do stocks. Then there's another person who plans with me, gets ready to go, and then never pulls the trigger. They talk.
They get the approval for the loan and everything?
Sometimes, yeah. I had one client who, 4 or 5 years ago met for the first time. He had a good savings saved and didn't want to buy because he wanted to time the market. 4 years later, he bought a house for double the price.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was
Moscow's like that
just
too.
hesitated. Yeah.
Like if you've had any other market you've been in before, you've seen it, you're like, I can figure this one out. Moscow? I'm calling y'all. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Take my money and tell me what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah, and that's
It's
most
crazy.
of that first meeting is setting those expectations and like pulling things way back from what people expect. And sometimes it's not the right timing for people. Sometimes you do need a 2-bathroom rental for your family because sustaining that family is more important. But if you're able to think longer term, let me give an example of 2 people, super similar incomes, met with them about the same time 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago now. One of them hesitated. They victimized themselves, said it was going to crash soon. They're going to wait till next year or the year after, and they still don't have a house. And periodically we talk, but the answer is always the same. They're waiting for something to change external to themselves. The other people got hungry, changed their expectations, and bought a duplex, renovated it. It was terrible. Nobody wanted the house, but they made it happen. Airbnb'd, leased it out, moved to the next property a year and a half later.
Wow.
Another duplex, renovate, Airbnb, hustling to make it happen. Then I call them at the 12-year mark now because they buy every year. They're expediting our plan.
The 12-month mark?
12-month mark, 12-month mark.
Yeah.
And so now they're in a duplex, but the one side they're on is a 3-bed, 2-bath home. It's what they wanted 3 years ago.
Wow.
And they worked extremely hard to make that happen. So it's not easy, and they're only telling me half the stories of picking sawdust out of their breakfast. But, I mean, that's the difference. You have one person with now 5 streams of rental revenue and a 3-bed, 2-bath house, and then another person who's in the same place where they started.
It's so funny.
So what's this? I'm sure every city has something sort of like this, but it's starting to happen in Moscow with like this affordable housing program starting to pop up. Now, what I've heard is that it's going to be private. It's not going to be connected to the government, or is it going to be connected to the government? I don't know.
Affordable housing is always connected to the government.
So this entity,
Ain't that the truth?
this entity
No
that
lie.
they're building is going to be connected to our city government.
That's my understanding. I mean, they're still in the very early stages of planning. But yeah, some of the main ways they're going to make money or fund the project is, of course, through donations.
Wait, for us giving other people money so that they can go live in
That's
Nate.
right. That's right. You work hard and you have some extra money, right? So that's one avenue.
Okay.
But the 2 and they have maybe 5 or 6 laid out, but really the last 2 are the most interesting, where they'll tax developers for building new properties because they've got money, obviously. Seriously, Gabe. And then the other one is if someone has a vacant house, they'll tax you too because you should have somebody in that home.
That's the Occupy movement.
Those are 2 of the proposals, right? Out of the 5 or 6. And that will solve the housing problem.
You know what you do when you tax developers? Housing prices go up.
Yep.
Like the whole economic ignorance of affordable housing movements are mind-boggling.
Right.
When I heard the conversation start to happen about this affordable housing stuff, I didn't even know that. But I was just thinking, why don't we start with the root of the problem, which is the government?
Well,
We don't have affordable housing here in Moscow is because our government closed down the city of Moscow during COVID, closed down supply chains. They make it so difficult for like Andrew Krapschetz to build a development.
Right.
They make you pay for everything. I remember Andrew Clapsett was building development. He had to put that bridge in. You guys remember that bridge?
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, the city of Moscow was putting a bridge in over on 6th Street. Remember that?
The roundabout
in front
there?
of the Nazarene Church.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew did his bridge in like 2 months. It took like 9 months for the Nazarene Church.
Only 9, huh?
For the city to do their bridge in front of the Nazarene Church.
9, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, it might have been longer. It was a long time because that's how I drive into town. So I knew don't go that way. But like that's how you deal with affordable housing. It's like you city council are the problem.
Yeah,
right.
but
like,
that's
zoning and planning is the problem.
They don't even realize that. So this commission that I guess it's not a commission. They call it a housing authority. I think is the title that they're giving it. Their purpose is not even necessarily to solve the problem. It's identifying the problem so we can solve it. So they don't even know what the issue is, which is part of why they feel the freedom to tax the very people who can solve the problem. In order to fund somebody to identify the problem. And we all know they're not going to identify it because that's how they get paid. So,
has there ever been a place where affordable housing has worked? I can't think of it usually always ends. I'm watching it happen in Minneapolis right now. It's just horrible. Just doesn't work.
No.
Well, you actually dehumanize the people.
Right.
Because what you're doing there is you're saying you can't afford a house, so we're going to, prop up the game for you. So you can afford a house, and then those people enter into that house, and they never worked for it. They never did anything for it, or it was significantly subsidized in a way that they don't see the value in what they just did in that house like they should as a family.
And
Ozempic.
I think an important distinction
They
is
subsidized it or whatever.
an important distinction is the actual structure or having a moving body control affordable housing versus the community providing affordable housing, which would be great.
That's right.
We need
in
more of that.
In a free market.
In a free market.
Yeah.
Well, because affordable housing should come from, dad leading his family.
Right.
Right.
Like, I got 10 acres.
And even a healthy, flourishing community, though. I mean, I experienced this even in when we built our house in 2020, and it wasn't like I didn't get any handouts, but working with, a lot of the people that helped build my house, I knew, or at least they were friends of friends, kind of thing. And so it was a lot of personal connections involved. And when you have a community of people that know each other, trust each other, are committed to a place together, and they want this place to be good for their kids and their grandkids, you're more incentivized to do good work because, you want to live here. And if I screw this guy's house up, he's going to tell all his friends and it's not going to be so good. And
I just kind of love my people.
Right. But in a community of high trust like that, you charge what you need to charge. And I'm happy to pay because this guy, I know part of my, he's doing my drywall or he's doing my plumbing, and I know he's supporting, 5 kids, and he's sending his kids to Logos, and and it's I'm happy to cut that check.
Yeah.
And so, but in that community context, you aren't padding everything with insurance. But if this guy screws me, I need to make sure that I have extra money, and which is what happens in a low trust community. Is everybody's got to charge more because it might go south. So I think a community really does help keep prices low.
Yeah,
and then you're also in a position to actually, when someone has a hardship or a real hard providence, there can be all kinds of means that a community comes together and says, hey, let's actually help this widow, lady with her house, or this this single mom whose husband ran off on her or whatever. It's we can step in and be like, hey, let's help, let's be the community here. But when the government is trying to solve it all, Thomas Sowell's famous line is, we subsidize failure.
Yep, that's right. I was just thinking about that.
We subsidize failure. You can be lazy and look, get a free house.
Yeah.
You didn't work really hard, you got fired. Hey, have a free house. Have cheaper rent. And he's you're he points this out with schooling in particular. Thomas Sowell's so we give more money to the schools that fail.
The most.
That have the lowest, scores. It's we are subsidized. We're paying people to fail.
Yeah.
And
it's praying the bill.
Yeah.
Okay, so the affordable housing thing, I guess maybe part of my question there is also what is a good solution?
I'm told you, Gabe.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was that good.
You know what? I think the part
it was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if there's structurally a way, and maybe that's part of the answer is just not.
Cut all the taxes.
Yeah. The thing that I'd add on to that, because what Jordan's talking about, I think the city is proposing a position, $250,000 a year in Moscow, Idaho. The way we'll fund this is developers, vacancy tax, whatever else.
Yeah.
What we need, we work with a number of different developers, Andrew Crappershed, some other guys in town, and what we need is less government regulation. That's going to make it more cost effective for developers to develop, and they can pass those cost savings on to the end consumer. So if we had less regulation in regards to lot sizes or square footage or sidewalk sizes or putting trees in, all the things that Andrew had to go through on his development, then that would ultimately end up in the hands of the end consumer. We could have a house built for $100,000 less than our median sale price. But we just
Is that
can't
a real
these days.
number? $100,000 less?
Absolutely. I've talked with a number of developers that have done PUDs, planned unit developments, but there's still a lot of restrictions on those. If they opened up, we have one affordable housing development in Moscow currently, and it's a funky one. They're partnered with the university. They're building these micro homes, 800, 900 square feet, which I'm not against. That could be a great product for a first-time home buyer. But you don't own the ground. Your appreciation is capped 0.5% per year. The sweat equity that you get into you put into the property, you don't see any of. And if you ever go to sell, the housing trust gets to decide what you sell it for.
Man.
Whoa.
But if you just pull back the regulations and let developers, piece apart these smaller lots, build smaller homes, we could have a $250,000 new construction home in Moscow.
Wow. Wow. Gabe, what did you say the new proposed city budget is?
$135 million.
And
Is that what it was? 135
That
million?
sounds right. Yeah,
And-
39 maybe.
and for a city of 20,000 people,
Yeah.
You said it's the same as Coeur d'Alene. What did you say?
Coeur d'Alene, yeah, same as
I
Coeur
heard
d'Alene.
that.
same as Coeur d'Alene, and Coeur d'Alene has twice the population, 3 times the
At least.
population, something like that. That's Gabe. That's the problem right there. Like that's how you solve like the housing crisis in Moscow is like stop taking all our money.
Totally.
I don't think that work. We're trying to get people to move to Moscow so they can work with these people. That wasn't very encouraging at all.
Well, if you move here, if you move here, you can help us.
Yeah, we definitely need that. Did we get through all the stuff on your paper? Because I see like 5 sheets of paper down there. I don't even know if you got.
I think we got through most of it.
I got one more.
Yeah,
thing
Of course
here.
you do.
So
Gabe always has one.
I always have one more. One of my thoughts was because mortgage rates are up right now. And by up, when I bought my first house, I paid 6.5% or whatever mortgage rates, whatever it was. But given the current climate, also housing prices are higher. The percentage of my revenue would be higher if I bought into a house. Right? That's what we've been talking about a little bit there. Why not buy a business instead of a house right now? So small business development loan, you're probably at 7, 8, 9%, but you're close to that 6% for getting a loan, and you're actually able to bring revenue in from that business instead of buying a house where it's kind of high in the market right now, interest rates are high, stuff like that. So that's been kind of one of my thoughts is like maybe think about buying a business.
Yeah. And we've got friends that do it, right? We were at True Business Makers Talk over at Grace Agenda, and there's some great opportunity, particularly with baby boomers phasing out of the businesses that they've built, their kids not wanting to take them over, that more and more businesses will come available.
Yeah, for sale. Yeah.
I loved Andrew Crappershed's talk, and one of the things that he said at his talk, he was talking specifically at your Business Makers Talk about acquisitions, right? He's done it. He's built businesses. He's bought businesses. He's sold businesses. He's done it before. And in the Q&A at the end, one of the guys asked him, hey, what industry would you be looking in if you were looking to buy a business right now? And what Andrew said is he said, I love to buy buildings that pay me rent.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And I was like, this is from the man himself who's built the business.
He's been in tech and all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with buying businesses. I think it's great. I love running a business. But there is more involved, right? There's less available, lower
The building
supply.
doesn't talk back to you.
Building
come
doesn't
with a
talk back to you. You got no
Except for the
personnel
sewer.
problems. Yeah.
Sometimes the sewer does.
So all that to say, if you have a great opportunity and you have the skill set to do it, I think it can be a great opportunity. Yeah. But it takes more of a skill set, I would say, than getting into real estate or investment real estate. And there's lower supply when it comes to it.
Yeah.
But if somebody wanted to buy a house, I don't know, say in Moscow, there's a great place for them to go to like get some help with that, right?
Like a CrossPolitic corporate partner
yeah, I'm
or
just
something like
saying.
that, you know.
Would you guys know anybody?
Yeah, absolutely. We at Story Real Estate love to help people buy homes. Our mission is helping others build legacies. We don't think there's a better way to build long-term generational wealth than through real estate ownership. There's a lot of benefits that we'd love to sit down and talk to people about. But we start with a consultation where we understand your situation, your needs, like Jordan talked about. It's not the right time for everybody. We're not going to push you into buying a home that's not the right fit for you. But if it is, or if there's expectations that need to change, we love to talk to people about that and get them into it.
But you guys do something else that's pretty cool too. So don't just service Idaho. You guys kind of service the whole nation. You guys still doing that?
Yeah, we partner with a ton of great Christian realtors all across the nation. So if there is someone in Alabama who's looking for a house, who wants someone who's aligned with their goals and their mission, wants to seek to understand them, we can get them connected with someone great.
Yeah, we had someone a while back, I think they were a Tennessee listener of CrossPolitic. They reached out to us. They had been looking for months and months to find a piece of land. Wasn't working out with their realtor, so they asked me to find somebody there, and we know the questions to ask. So interviewed some agents, and they were under contract on some land within 2 weeks.
Really?
Wow.
So that's
Sweet.
Like, not all agents are the same.
Look at
and
this
so
Christian economy.
we-
Huh?
yeah.
Let's
I love
go.
that.
We should get you connected. So.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate what you do. You guys go buy some houses. But first, if you're single,
Should I read these ads?
what ads? Nobody else matters right now.
Story Real Estate.
That's it. Thank you. That's all that
Story Real
matters
Estate.
right now.
That's all we're advertising.
What's the website?
StoryRealEstate.com.
.com.
StoryRealEstate.com. So,
If you're single, get married. If you're married, have you some kids. And if you have kids, go baptize them. Until tomorrow, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is CrossPolitic.
My new mug right here.
here we go.
Man, a metal straw. This is like a forever straw.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, it's got that metal.